Hi, boys and girls. Glad to speak to you again. For today's lesson, we're going to learn about positive and negative space. Positive and negative space. Let's think of one of my favorites, a big donut with a hole in it. Yum, yum. I think I'll put some sprinkles on mine. How's that? Sprinkled donut. The donut is the positive shape, and the empty space inside is the negative space. It's the hole. There's nothing there. So that's the idea that we're going to bring to our lesson today in positive and negative space. Let me tell you what you'll need. You will need to have 2 pieces of paper, one white. A good heavy drawing paper is good. And you need a black piece of construction paper the same size. These are both 9 inches by 12 inches. If you're using something a little smaller, make sure your black piece is cut to the same size so they're both the same. And you fold each of them in half like a book. One here and this one here. That's what we need for our paper. You will need a pencil, scissors, glue, and watercolors with, of course, your brush. Here's my brush. And you'll need something we always need with watercolors. A container with some water in it. I like to have a sponge next to mine or a paper towel to wipe my brush. I keep both in case I have a little spill. I can be quite messy sometimes. And let's begin. Let me move everything away until we're ready for these. We're starting with our white paper. And we are using in watercolor what's called a wet on wet technique. So what we do is take some clean water and just start to spread it on our paper. Don't make lakes or rivers on this. You just want to quickly spread some water on there. It's okay if you miss a little spot here and there, but if you can help it, try and get some water on the whole paper. You don't have to scrub it in or anything like that. Just get right to the edges. And as soon as you're done, we're going to start to paint. Okay. And you'll notice with my watercolors, we're not using black or brown for this. So I put a little piece of paper over it to remind me not to use it. So let's start. We get our water, put some water in each one of the wells to get it started. Clean water in each one. There. All right, now I think my first color, I'll use some red, and I'm going to use it in different spots, and it's pretty quick. You hold your brush like a pencil, and just sort of lightly, gently, don't squish and mush your brush down. Get some water and gently rub it on the watercolor paint well and spread it around. I'm going to stick with the first color I want until I'm done using that. And then I'll go to my next color. This way I don't have to keep going back and forth through each color. You'll see that the water carries it around. My next color, I think I'll put yellow. I'll get some yellow and just kind of paint it in there, all the spots. It's pretty quick doing it this way because I'm not drawing pictures of anything. I'm just kind of spreading paint all over my paper. Next color, I think I'll do orange. I'm going to stick with these 3 warm colors or the 3 cool colors. Either way, you don't want to have too many colors or they start to mix and make very strange colors, like mud. It's pretty quick this way. See, and you can overlap a little bit and they'll blend together. The water will do that for you. Whoop, left a little spot there. There we go. Little spot there, little spot there. There we go. And I will finish up using the orange. Remember water and paint. That's what you need. You want your paint to be watery for this. Maybe I'll get some more orange down here. There we go. More orange. Just kind of spreading it along. That's all I'm doing. Doesn't take long. And it's kind of fun just to let the paint go and let the water spread it along. There you go. Just spread it along. Water, paint. There, right to the edge. There we go. A couple of little spots. Get you little spots in. There. Little white spots. They look like stars in the sky. An orange and red and yellow sky. There we go. Now that has to dry. So we can put this aside to dry. There, move it aside. There we go. Now, I have one that I did before that's already dry. Here we are. All dry. Now you go and get your black paper and you cut it in half right on the fold line where you folded it before. So let's cut that right where I folded it. And you only need to use 1/2. The other half you can keep in your scrap pile for another project. Remember, don't throw these away. All right, now we're going to have to trace something inside the middle so that we have a shape and the frame around it. Now, there's lots of interesting things that I could trace. I could trace a glue bottle. That might be nice. I could even trace scissors. That might be interesting, but I have something that's very handy. I have it right here with me all the time. My hand. So that's what I'm going to use, and I think it might be nice if you used it too. Take your hand and lay it down in the middle. Don't worry about your arm. We're not doing any of that. Try and get your hand in the middle. Is that the middle? Nope, too high. Is that the middle? Nope, too low. There we are. It sounds like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Just right. Now open up your fingers just a bit. Not like that. And don't keep them closed. Open them a little bit. Rest your hand down and relax. Take your pencil and trace around your hand. Now when you trace, don't stick the pencil under because you'll end up tracing spaghetti fingers. Keep it straight up and down, straight up and down. And when you trace, make sure your pencil touches your hand. You should feel it on your skin. Hold it straight up and down. Trace around. I feel it going over my thumb and over my pointer finger. There we go. Don't move your hand once you trace. Get right down in there. Right down in there. All the way around. Now when you get back down to the other side of your wrist, you have to connect. I hope you can see this, boys and girls, with the light. You have to connect this at the bottom. So you have to go around and connect. All right. Now you have to cut it out. But you need to keep both pieces, so they have to be cut out very carefully. You want the hand and you want the outside. You want to save the hand and you want to save this. So, you take a pencil and very, very carefully, boys and girls, I don't want you to poke yourself. Just poke a little hole in the paper so you can get your scissors in there. There. Can you see that little hole I made? Just enough to get my scissors in there. There I go. And a couple of little snips. And you can start to cut around. Now, as you go around the fingers, sometimes I like to come up from the bottom. Makes it a little easier. This time, no. When you go around, I have found that it works for me to keep the scissors still and just turn the paper as I go around. Now I can cut down, turn the paper. Here's where I have to come into this side from the back. There we go. Let me get that little pinky out of the way. Up the side of my finger. When I get the top, turn the paper around. If you have to go out and back in, that's okay. And you keep doing that until you've cut the whole hand out. So that when you're done, this is what you have, boys and girls. Okay, see, I cut it out in one piece and my frame is all held together. Now, don't try and trim anything away. It's got to match exactly. So don't try and fix anything. If you made a little wonky cut or something, just leave it. It's okay. Alrighty, now I'm going to lay this down here with my thumb in the middle and lay this down here with my thumb in the middle. I'll try and match them right here. Good. Now I'm going to glue. Flip this over and put some white glue down. If you want to use a glue stick, you could do that too. The glue stick would be fine. I'm just going to put a little glue around, not too much. I don't want to drown it in glue. It's only a skinny piece of paper. Right up each finger, carefully, and there. Now I'll turn it over and lay it down right where the fold is. Right there, match it up with my paper. There we go. Press down gently. Now take the other hand with the thumb in, flip it over. Put a little glue there. As I said, not too much. There we go. Take the hand, flip it over, and try and match it up. There. And there we have it, boys and girls. We have our positive shape and our negative space. This is like the donut, and this is like the hole, the empty space. Positive shape, negative space. I hope you enjoyed doing this, boys and girls, with me. I'll see you soon for another lesson. Don't forget, take a picture, send it to me at ellisartysmarties@gmail.com. ellisartysmarties@gmail.com. Let me see your wonderful positive and negative pictures. Bye.